So when you're tying a bridal corset, the first thing to do is make sure that the dress is central, not too high or too low. If anything, you would rather it be on the higher side, so we're just going to lift it up very slightly, and if you can just hold it in place for a second. So you want to make sure that you're starting off with both ribbons through the top loop and then pull them back to check that they're the same length. If they aren't the same length, then you're going to end up with one side running out before the other side. So when doing the ribbons, we're always going to work to the left and to the right and repeat over and over. So first of all, we're taking the strip from the right, going through the left loop, and you always go underneath and out, then taking the left strip over to the right, and you're going into the loop and out. So that is your first set. So we always work in sets with a corset, so never sort of do more on one side than the other side. So now that your first set is done, we're going to do the next set. So over to the left, under and out, over to the right, under and out. And you don't want to pull on anything at this point because it will cause creases. So we're literally just threading until we run out of ribbon. So repeating again, left and right. And make sure you've got no twists. Left, right. And just keep working your way down, repeating left and right over and over until you've got no excess left. Don't worry at all at this point if the corset panel at the back is sticking up, or don't worry as well about trying to put the poppers on and trying to reach the popper over to the inside, because it will work its way over as you pull the corset together. So just repeating the steps over and over, left and then right. So we've not got quite enough to finish the last few loops of the corset off, so this is when we need to start to tighten so that we've got more string left to play with. So if you can push the cups back against you, so you can see that this creates more space at the back, and it means that we have to pull less on the loops to get the dress tighter. So when we're pulling in, we always pull the loops outwards instead of inwards. This stops them from creasing too much and going wrinkled at all, and keeps the corset looking neater. So again, we always work in sets. So we've done the top set. The very top loop doesn't count, as you can't actually pull on that. So this is the first one. So you pop your fingers in, create the slack and pull. Again, not over pulling, as you don't want to create any wrinkles, and just pulling down. This is just the first tighten, and this is just to check that everything's in the right place before we do the final tighten, which is for the fit. So pulling all the way down, and then you can see that we've got enough ribbon left at the bottom just to finish off those final two loops. So this is when you want to check that the back panel is nice and straight. So if it's sticking up far too much at the top, the best way to resolve that is to grab it at the back and pull it down. So I'm just going to grab it here and pull it down until it's more or less level. Now we're going to do another tighten to close this gap. So we're going to start from the top again, pulling in, in. And then we've just got the tiniest bit left, so we'll do one more tighten in a second, but now we're just going to work on the waist. So if you can pop your hands on your waist and just push in, And this will help whoever's dressing, just to make sure that, again, you don't have to pull too hard on the ribbons. So as you can see, the back panel's now meeting the other side. Again, it doesn't matter at all if the popper isn't quite reaching, as you won't see that anyway. It's just there in case it does reach. Making sure it's all smooth inside. And just pulling to get rid of any excess in the ribbons all the way down. So it's always best to start doing a corset earlier than you need to be ready. It can take a little bit of time to get the hang of it, and also what happens with a corset dress is that as you're in it, your body heat will warm up the satin of the dress and the boning, so it will give a little bit after you've been in it for a few minutes. So at this point it's best to just check that the bride's happy with the fit, that it's the right height. You can check that your bust is where you want it to be in the cups, that it's not overflowing or that the dress isn't too high. And then we're just going to do one last tighten on the bust. So if you just push back on the cups again for me, thank you. So you can see just being in it for a couple of minutes even gives you a little bit of extra slack than we had at first. And then just ease the ribbon through. Then we're going to just make sure that the back panel's tucked in fully, everything's nice and fitted. And then to finish off a corset, the best way to do it is a simple knot at the bottom, so left over right, and a first knot. Then if you would like the bow hidden, then at this point you're just going to do a loop through with the laces, and then they're going to be pushed through this small hole at the bottom down into the dress, so you can actually go underneath and grab the ribbons to help pull them through. Or if you would like a bow on show, then you're going to do the bridal bow, so that is left over right, under and up. Then with the left or bottom ribbon, you're now going to make a loop, flip it over to the right, drop the top strap down and pull through. And that gives you a small, neat bridal bow at the bottom of your corset, which you need to make sure is nice and tight. Or you can push the ribbons away and it leaves a nice, simple corset look.